Hello everyone, I'm Punch, and welcome to another episode of Applecraft. So we have something a bit seasonal coming later in the episode, as you can probably tell by the title. For context for those in the future, this is coming out at the end of October. But to start off with, we've got a problem to solve. Guys, community storage is great. It's a place where Daxty and I can just have a whole bunch of resources here that we can both share, but I really don't think it's quite enough. I do eventually want to move my entire storage room in Mushville to community storage here, except right now I don't think we really have the space. We've got all this stuff over here, and this isn't even half of the items that I have in my storage room, and we've already filled up half of community storage. But this place was never really meant to be the permanent residence of community storage. It was always just meant to be a temporary place to have community storage, since I knew it would take me a while before I actually got around to doing my ultimate plan. And what is my ultimate plan, you might ask? Right here you can see our tunnel to the ghast farm. I still have all these shulker boxes here full of stuff, and I really just kind of hate having to go and sort out all of our stuff from the shulker boxes once we're done with the projects. We've got to go and put some stuff in community storage. Oops, that was the nether brick slab. Gotta put some stuff in community storage. We gotta put other stuff in our storage room at Mushville. And just trying to sort it all out is really annoying. I just want one single place where we can just plop down our shulker boxes and a system will automatically sort all of our stuff. That's not exactly a revolutionary idea, but it will be a big undertaking. But we're not going to be starting on the new community storage today. And there's a very good reason why. There's something else we have to take care of first. If we moved all of our items out of our storage room here in Mushville, then that would mean that we really wouldn't have much of a reason to ever come to Mushville anymore. Really, why in the world would we come here? I guess to get some carrots for our golden carrots, but eventually we might trade with villagers for those anyway. I guess we could get some wheat. What it effectively means is that we'll never get to see Powder anymore. Hi, Powder. It has been a while since I've seen you, Powder. But just imagine, Powder, if we moved our storage room, I would never see you anymore. And so today, guys, I want to kill two birds with one stone. We are going to build a new home for Powder, and we're going to build a wool farm along the way. So, llamas live in mountain biomes like this one, but come on, let's be honest. This is kind of an ugly biome. And so where I want to build instead is a mesa, or the Badlands as they're now called. How long have they been called the Badlands? They've been called the Badlands for a while, but I know them as mesas. The build style I want to go with fits the mesa a whole lot better, and the mesa is just a lot nicer than a mountain biome. And it is still mountainous. Look at this giant valley right here. The llamas should feel right at home. So I found this really nice valley right here. It's really large and has a lot of variation in the terrain. There's not a whole bunch of red sand, because I don't really want to build on top of a lot of red sand. And so my idea is that up here on this ridge right here, we will have Powder's little house or castle or something. Powder's the king of this place, so Powder's going to have quite a big place, And he will be able to look down at his citizens from up here. So most of the village will be down in the valley, but Powder will be up here on this ridge. So we need to flatten out a little bit of this here. I think if we just remove this layer, it'll be fine. But first, I want to remove all the dead bushes. Because dead bushes, once you destroy them, there's no way to get them back. I know they're kind of useless, and there's not exactly a dead bush shortage, but you never know when you might need dead bushes in large amounts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get them, okay? Quit judging me. I should have brought along a beacon. You don't even need haste 2 for terracotta, you can just use haste 1. As I'm digging this, I just realized I don't think I've actually explained to you guys my idea for what this village is going to be. It is going to be a village. Powder is going to have a village all to himself that he's going to rule over. But it's not just going to be any village. It's going to be a village populated entirely by llamas. So I think there are 4 colors of llamas, and there are 16 different carpet colors that can go on the llamas. So we're going to have throughout this village 16 different houses, one for each wool color, each populated with one of each color of llama. So there'll be like 4 llamas in the blue house, 4 llamas in the red house, 4 llamas in the brown house. You get the idea. And Powder will get to rule over the whole thing. And the reason I decided to put the sheep farm in this village is because, well, we're dividing it up by carpet color, and you need wool for carpets, so, sheep farm. It's a thin connection, but it works. Maybe llamas just really hate sheep. Well, I've got a general layout of the building put here now. I've got the block palette for the place picked out, but I'm not really sure what this building is going to shape out to be. I haven't built it in creative mode or anything, in another world or anything, so this building could literally turn out to be anything. So I'm trying to decide whether or not to do a time-lapse, because usually whenever I do a time-lapse, I have a good idea of what the building's going to look like, and I can kind of do a better time-lapse that way. I don't know, maybe I will try doing a time-lapse. I can try to do a time-lapse on a spontaneous building. There's usually a lot more trial and error with the spontaneous building, so it might not make a good time-lapse. I don't know. We'll see if there's the time-lapse now. Well, I would say this place is looking fancy. I had a lot of fun building this place, guys. It's supposed to be like a little palace or castle. I mean, it's not exactly a castle, but you still kind of get castle vibes off of it. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is one of those builds where I didn't really have a plan to begin with, but I did end up making a creative backup of the world halfway through building this and figuring some things out, and I honestly think this build turned out a lot better because of it. I think it's good to have a balance between planning and spontaneity. Like, the shape of the building probably wouldn't have been like this if we had planned it in creative mode first in a creative world, but without a little bit of creative planning, we never would have had this thing up here. So this whole room is supposed to be a throne room, and the ceiling was feeling a little bit low, so I tried some different things, and I landed on this. And it gave me the idea, we have 16 carpet colors we're going to be building houses for, right? So what if each color was a clan, and each clan had its own banner? Then we could, have this whole thing lined with banners up here, and I think it would look really cool. So we're going to need to start building some houses soon, so we can get some banners up there. I used quite a few 1.17 blocks in here, more than anything else I've ever built so far. For some reason, they just really feel fancy to me. Like the azaleas, the calcite, the smooth basalt. I don't know what it is, they just feel high class and expensive. Perfect for a palace, though. So yeah, now we just need to build a throne in here and get Powder up here. Okay, so for the throne, this is kind of what I was thinking. We'll make it mostly out of basalt, and then, this is for Powder. And Powder is going to be like the king of the whole village here. So we can't have anything but the best for Powder. So we're going to be putting some diamond blocks in this throne. Now we just need to get Powder over here, which will require some digging in the nether. Well, hey there, Powder. How are you? Guess what, buddy? We got a new home for you. A home where you're going to have friends. Although, there are no friends there just yet. But you're gonna have friends in the future. Let's go to your new home, buddy. Right this way. Ooh, you know, you want a snack for the road? Let's get you a hay bale. Okay, yeah, here you go, Powder. Here's a snack for the road. Oh, that just broke the lead. There we go. And if you're good on your way there, if you're good on our way over there, you can have some more. Why don't you just stand right there and... Whee! Isn't this fun, Powder? Oh! Oh no, you took damage. Are you okay? Oh no! I'm so sorry! Oh my goodness. Okay, Powder, you're not allowed to ride on the rails anymore. Here, you know, Powder, you're doing pretty well. Here, have another hay bale. Yeah, there you go. You like that, don't you? And on the other side of this portal is your new home, Powder. Alright, up onto the throne you go. And look at that. Don't you look majestic there? You are the ruler of this place. Although there's not really anything to rule yet. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? I've changed. I'm starting to become a bit of a llama myself. Yeah, would you look at that? I am starting to really blend in with the llama theme here. I thought Powder gave me a funny look whenever we first greeted him. Okay, but seriously, now that we've actually got Powder here, we need to actually build something for him to rule over. Let's get to work on that sheep farm. Yeah, you know, I think my past self was getting a little bit ahead of himself. We are not going to be doing the sheep farm in this episode. By the way, I really do love this skin. I think it's one of the weirder skins I've ever made. I mean, look at this thing. Like, it's just kind of weird. Ooh. And it's kind of weird, too, when you turn off all the layers. Yeah, this is kind of awkward now. I'm one with the llamas. Okay, let's go to the next clip. It's a little bit more seasonal than a sheep farm. Well guys, it's that time of year. The spooky time of year. And so it's time for us to build something that's been a long time coming. A graveyard. Daxty and I, on every world we play on, we like to make a graveyard for all of our deaths. Because we usually have quite a few deaths. I know on the last world we played on, Daxty got up to like 70 deaths or something. It was insane. And Daxty and I have a few deaths on this world, so it's time to make a graveyard. So I was thinking I wanted to make it all the way back here, behind all the buildings we have so far, because I assume we're going to want to expand spawn out this way, because there's some flat land out this way. And I'm thinking we're going to do it like right up next to these buildings here. Well, right up next to the community storage. Maybe not right next up to the school. Because this is kind of an interesting little area here. We'll have like a little valley in the graveyard, you know? I think we're going to keep this overhang here. But we are going to blast away this little protrusion. I say blast away, I'm just going to dig it. So we need to actually figure out what we want the shape of this graveyard to be. So I'm thinking we're gonna have it be a few blocks away from this building here. I want to have like an entrance right here where we can bring a path between the buildings because we have doors right here. So I think it'd be nice if we also had the entrance to the graveyard over here. And then we'll just keep bringing it around, although I don't want to intrude too much on this space over here. I was kind of thinking this area behind the school and behind the library could be kind of a nice little park area. Yeah, here we go. I think this is a good shape for the graveyard. It's got kind of an interesting shape and it's got some interesting terrain. On the last map that Daxty and I played on, we sort of just had a flat, square graveyard. And I thought that was kind of boring. Looking back. So I think we're going to do better this time. So the plan for this place is to have basalt pillars and cobblestone walls going around the perimeter. You know, now that I've got the walls built up, they don't look bad, but they do look a little bit bland. I think maybe we need to do some more in the wall than just cobblestone. Oh yeah, that looks way better. It's amazing what adding one other type of block into your build can do. For the ground, I think we're going to be using these kinds of blocks right here. So let's just grab a few in our inventory here. And yeah, we got a nice mix of browns here that we can just put around the place. Okay, this place is starting to come together. This ground looks great. And you can see I've swapped out all the stone with deep slate as well. I kind of terraformed this and shaped it a little bit differently than what it was originally, just because it looked a little dorky the way the original shape was. But I think it's turned out pretty well. We'll have to put something up there someday, or maybe something right under it. I don't know. We need to do something special with that thing. But now what I want to do is put in some paths in the graveyard. Just want to have something leading to the different entrances. We'll probably want to put an entrance over here. We do it... Yeah, well, we can probably do it right here. And then I was thinking we would have an entrance over here. Right here would probably work well. So yeah, we can have some paths connecting the entrances, and then just going out to other parts of the graveyard. And this was the block palette that I was thinking for the path. I kind of like the tuff in this context. Like, tuff, I haven't really used tuff yet since 1.17 came out, because it has sort of a green tint with it. But I think it works in the graveyard because it's kind of sickly looking. It's like if stone got a cold. And I think we're gonna put some glow lichen in here too. And it has kind of that same sickly green color. So I think that'll work well. And now that we've got the paths put in, it's time to add a little more decoration, because it's basically just an empty piece of land right now. I want to use some dripstone, but we only had about, like, 43 dripstone or something like that, so I set up this little temporary dripstone farm on the side of this building here. Am I doing this wrong? Or does it just take a really long time to grow? Because I've had this sitting here for about 20 minutes and we still haven't gotten anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to move forward with the graveyard, though, until we get a bit more dripstone. It makes kind of an interesting sound. It's kind of soothing, calming. The dripping of dripstone. Guys, I have literally just wasted an hour of my life waiting for this to grow. And you know what the worst part is? It's never going to grow. Sometimes I don't know how to play this game. The pointed dripstone, it will only grow if it's hanging off of a dripstone block. So we have it all hanging on cobblestone here. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We have to put dripstone blocks here. I wish I had known that an hour and a half ago. Alright, now it's time to start decorating the place. Starting with dead bushes. See, you guys were laughing at me earlier for collecting those dead bushes. But see, we needed them. I mean, sure, I didn't know that whenever I recorded that clip, because that clip was recorded almost a month before this one. But, see, you never know when you're gonna need a good number of dead bushes. Alrighty, and now I think we're going to use our dripstone. So I just want to put a few of these scattered around, a couple of them being like 2 tall like this one, but mostly just 1 tall ones. And then I think it would be quite the missed opportunity if we didn't hang a bit of dripstone off of the cliff here. Yeah, and then we'll have some oak logs scattered around the place. Okay, that's looking good. And now, the last thing is a little bit of glow lichen. Now, I want to see how it looks if we have quite a bit of it underneath here. Because, you know, it seems like moss would like to grow in dark, damp areas. Alright, this place is looking good, especially at night. I mean, look at that. That's just kind of cool. It's glowing and everything. Like, I love this graveyard, guys. But now that we've got that all taken care of, the only thing this graveyard is missing is some graves. So I think I know where we're going to put our first graves. We're gonna put them right up here. When I say first graves, I mean the first ones we're building here, and the graves representing the first death of mine and the first death of Daxty. Maybe we'll put mine right here. So my first death was falling into the void in the end. I lost track of where I was on the Y level, and I just kind of plummeted into the void. It wasn't good. There we go. And now we put on the death message. I fell out of the world. And now you might be wondering why I'm building out of blackstone. And well, I want each of the graves that we build in this graveyard to represent in some way the actual death. So in this case, since I fell into the void, I decided to go with blackstone to represent the blackness of the void. Now let's put Daxty's grave over here. So Daxty's first death was falling out of a tree. It sounds kind of embarrassing, and it is. And that tree was inside a jungle. It was at Jungleville, so we're going to try to use some jungle blocks for this grave. We got that, and then we'll put some jungle leaves around it. Ew. You know, the jungle leaves don't look the best in the mountain biome here, but it's fine. You know, should we just always do the death message, or should we do something a little bit more creative, like Daxty495 fell from a high jungle tree? I think that's what we're gonna leave that as. Yeah, I like that. I like the way those look up there. Now, I can't remember if Daxty has had a second death or not. If he has, I can't remember what it is, so I'll just let Daxty put in that grave. But I have one more death at the moment, and that death was being slain by a zombie villager. I stepped away from my computer while I was in Jungleville. This death was in Jungleville too. I stepped away from my computer for like 2 minutes, and while I was away, a zombie villager got me. So, where do we want to put this grave? I want this one to be kind of a smaller grave. Maybe we'll put it like by the path over here. Alrighty, there we go. That's our third grave in the graveyard. But I mean, we still have all this giant open space here now. I feel like we need to fill it up more. So do you know what that means? That means we need to die. For this first one, I should point out that it's only possible because of 1.17. It takes a second. You know, I've heard that TNT is actually a pretty good way to mine sand. You know, I've heard that TNT is actually a pretty good way to mine sand. You know, I've heard that TNT is actually a pretty good way to mine sand. Well, that was a disappointment. I guess I needed some more TNT. You know, I've heard that TNT is a pretty good way to mine sand. What a lovely day for a stroll out here on the lava plain. You know, I want to go for a swim up this lava fall. Oh wait, this isn't going as planned. Wait, no, wait. What a lovely day! Is it warm in here to you guys? I forgot to take off my armor. Oh, hello, Mr. Ghast. How are you? Oh, no. I'm sorry. I know I create a farm to blow up or kill your friends, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends too, right? right? Oh, please be my friend. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Hello there. How are you? Can we be friends? Oh no! Ah! No! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to! Oh no! No! Go! No! Now look at this, guys. Like, what a pitiful way to die. I mean, could you imagine, like, dying this way accidentally? How embarrassing would that be? Like, come on, like, you know, just hypothetically. Now our last death is going to be an absolute classic. Here we go. Goodbye, cruel world. Wow, I don't think I've ever died so many times in such a short amount of time. But we have quite a few graves here for the graveyard now, and we still have plenty of room to expand should we ever need to. Unfortunately, I did lose all my armor whenever we did that Strider one. Yeah, I really should have upgraded that to netherite. Oh man, I love this graveyard, guys. I really do. I think it turned out fantastic. Wow, this is turning out to be a really long episode. We're well over 25 minutes at this point. Well, we've done a lot of fun stuff in this episode. We found Powder a new home. We've built a graveyard for ourselves, struggled with dripstone, died a lot. Most would consider that a negative, but in this case, it's definitely a positive. So yeah, I think that's about all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye! Wow, what do you know? We actually did make a profit on sand. Only used half a stack of TNT.